Hey everybody, I am coming to you with another U-mail video. Someone had asked me on YouTube about when is the best time to take a vitamin, and it is a complicated question because there's so many interactions. Number one, if you're on a prescription medicine, you should always get your doctor to approve the supplement that you're taking, and don't be bashful. I know some patients are apprehensive on telling their doctors that they're on a pill or a supplement or a vitamin or an herbal of some sort, but it is important for them to know. At least you'll have that doctor maybe do some research if they feel empowered. So whether you're taking a vitamin because you have a deficiency, or whether you're taking an herbal supplement because you're trying to smooth down some of the symptoms you're suffering from, and again, you always have to use evidence-based medicines. Just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean it's proper. The way you use supplements or vitamins really should be based on evidence. And it probably will take one of us, whether it's a scientist or a physician, to kind of peel apart the evidence and see if it's worth it. So let's break it down. The basics of vitamin taking will be, of the two biggest groups, fat-soluble and water-soluble, you really should be taking fat-soluble vitamins with food. The fat-soluble vitamins are A, D, E, and K, and all of them do better when they're absorbed with a fatty meal. Now, not all of us have to take in big gobs of fat, it's just take it with a meal. If you have one of those four vitamins, try to do it with your food. On the other hand, with regards to water-soluble vitamins, they're not as crucial. And the cool thing about most water-soluble vitamins is that you usually can't get to toxic levels. And you have to be practical too. If you're taking a vitamin supplement and you're doing it 3 times to 4 times a day, that is not really that sustainable. Taking a pill or a bunch of pills together twice a day is probably about the limit. Lunchtime is so variable. Dinner time and breakfast is usually right on, so it's easy to remember because your pills are right there next to your counter. Having to take a supplement that's multiple hits during the day, just figure out if it's sustainable for you to do it 4 times a day or so. Which brings me to the practical application of sometimes if it's too confusing on when to take a supplement, like probiotics should not be taken with antibiotics, that's a given, because you'll kill the probiotic before it even gets into the bloodstream. And also, you shouldn't take it with your food because there's enzymes that start to be secreted in your stomach to digest your food, and they technically will irritate or possibly break down the probiotic. Certain supplements should not be taken with your prescriptions. The most notorious medicines out there for interacting with everything, including other medicines, is thyroid hormone. If you're confused about your interactions between vitamins and prescriptions, call your pharmacist. They might be able to help you with an idea on what's safe and what's not safe for proper timing. And if they can't give you an answer, try to get a hold of a compounding pharmacist because they usually will have more information. There are components in coffee and tea that sometimes will irritate the supplement before it even gets absorbed. Those components are tannins or caffeine, and they affect the way absorption runs in the gut. If you take your medicines on an empty stomach in the morning and you have a couple cups of coffee, you might be destroying or just pushing out the vitamin into the stool. So especially if you're taking expensive supplements, fish oil, turmeric, SAMe, those really have to be used wisely. For those of you who have a problem with remembering when to take your vitamins, especially if they're split dose, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, it's better than nothing, so just take it all in the morning. The only problem is certain vitamins will interact with each other. The big positively charged minerals like iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc, they usually will compete with each other to be absorbed. So when you take them all together, they might actually cancel out each other and be, again, pushed out in your poop. I'm a big proponent for magnesium. I like to use it at night. I think it has a sedative effect versus something like iron or iodine, which I use in the morning, which has a stimulating effect. If you ever take B12, please consider getting a B12 shot instead of a pill because everybody I talk to that needs the B12 supplement, that's mostly vegetarians, people on the stomach acid medicines, folks who indulge in alcohol on a regular basis, those are the ones that need B12. Ask your doctor about it, especially if you have a fatigue issue. You might be able to not only take care of your supplement deficiency, but also get a little bit of energy in the morning. Most of my patients who get the shot say it floats them with a high amount of energy for about 2.5 to 3 weeks, and then they can tell when it's going downhill. If you're thyroid deficient and you take a thyroid medicine, I really think that the average American diet is lacking on iodine. And iodine's a basic building block, so before adjusting your thyroid medicine or even consider getting on thyroid medicine, please consider having your doctor test you for iodine deficiency. Depending on which test you use, some of them more accurate than others, you might be able to take the iodine in the morning, and again it has a little bit of a boosting effect to energy levels. The inherent problem is when you're taking iodine and thyroid medicine together, it sometimes will cause a hyperactivity for a short amount of time. For my iodine users who happen to have thyroid problems, I'd say get stable with your iodine dose and then start adjusting your thyroid, but that's all up to your doctor. Then there's the idea about antibiotics. Everybody that takes an antibiotic should really be on a probiotic after the course of treatment for about a month to 2 months. I have no problems with taking a probiotic for the duration of time, especially my Crohn's disease sufferers or ulcerative colitis. And there's more information about how to improve your microbiota with probiotics every day. But being selective so you don't have to take gobs of supplement every day, if you're a probiotic user, try to hold on to that dose while you're taking your antibiotic. And researching which bacteria are in your broad spectrum probiotic would be important depending on your disease process. An important thing to keep in mind too is when you're using supplements, say for mood, it really takes a long time before you see the effective results. If you're expecting a turnaround in your mood within a week to 2 weeks of taking a supplement like SAMe, St. John's wort 5-HTP, I would probably look more towards 3 months as being when you figure out, is this helping me or not. Same with glucosamine sulfate for inflammation. And on those lines, a lot of the supplements do require you to be patient and to wait. That's why it's very important to journal your effects. Improvements might be very small nuances you'll miss if you don't journal how you're feeling before and after your start. Multiple supplements at the same time is dangerous because if you have a side effect and you started a whole bunch of them all at the same time, you're not going to know which one caused the side effect. So if you have homework from me and I give you 3 to 4 supplements to try to invest in until the changes in lifestyle are maintained, try to introduce one thing every 2 weeks, and that should be enough time to hopefully build up a tolerance or just see if there's a side effect. I do believe certain supplements are better quality than others. The unfortunate problem is at this point in time, it's up to the company to provide quality assurance that they have good product, since it's very loosely reinforced by the FDA. The U.S. Pharmacopoeia is a good governing body that watches over certain supplements and companies, and my favorite independent testing company is Consumer Lab. So sometimes it's just trial and error. With everything I just mentioned in the last couple of minutes, it's very confusing about when to take it, what to watch out for, the interactions between vitamins, or between vitamins and prescriptions, or between vitamins, prescriptions, and food. Which brings me back to the beginning when I said it's probably easier just to be compliant and shoot for a split dose, a couple of supplements in the morning and a couple of supplements at night. Ask your doctor or seek out an herbalist for guidance. If you have questions, ask your local compounding pharmacist about their suggestions or their opinion. But unfortunately, you'll have to be the one who empowers yourself and goes through the diligence of checking the companies, the interactions, researching, following good evidence-based medicine. When you think of using supplements or vitamins, that's what they are. They're supplements to a healthy food practice. I happen to think that the healthiest lifestyle includes some form of mindful practice, some form of activity on a regular basis, and a healthy nutrition plan. I follow a whole food, mostly plant-based diet, but some of my patients have to have it designed for them or their disease process. If you need the supplements, you take them for the time being, but try to adjust your lifestyle and your nutrition plan so that eventually you can be able to get rid of the supplements. Hopefully this wasn't too confusing, but it might give you a little bit of a guidance on what to do or how to arrange your day. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to me for weekly words of wisdom.